Well, good morning, flockers. There we go. We are live on the patio with Max. Now that I've figured out exactly what direction to point the camera. So, I think we might have been a minute or so late starting. I had a little bit of an accident with Max's beak fish. What I do when I put out an eggy cone is I set the cone in an empty coffee cup so that I can fill it up with fresh eggs, and makes it something really easy to carry and move around. So what I managed to do this morning is I managed to pop it into a full coffee cup, which did not work nearly as well. So I'm now out here with a fresh cup of coffee, which clearly I need. And Max, would you like an eggy cone? Yeah? Oh yeah. You know, nothing better to start off the morning than with a tasty treat. Um, Max. Wow, that cone didn't last long. Let me see if I can pick it up. Max managed to pull the egg out of the cone. I caught it, so I'm just going to see here if I can reconstruct the cone one-handed. Here you go, Max. Okay, now, careful. Max, you're losing your eggs. No cone today, just the eggs? We could do that, I guess. I'm just gonna pick up the cone. Good thing you decided to drop that right on your thing. So apparently nobody really wants cones today. It's just all about the eggs. Hey Greenbird, hey Cheryl, Twyla, Neil. So glad to see every birdie joining us. I'll try and keep up with comments as usual. It can be a little entertaining to watch the comments when it's this bright outside. After I posted up the heads up that I was doing a live stream in an hour and a half, I had a bit of a storm start rolling through. We were wondering if we were going to have to hold this indoors, which always is an option. Tico right now is inside enjoying his eggy. So we've just got one bird out today. So I'd say that we've had a good week. It's been a busy week. Really warm. We've had another heat wave. I hear that we've not had a heat wave like that since 13 years. We haven't had that many days in a row that have been that hot. And let me tell you, although one of my neighbors does have air conditioning, I certainly do not. And definitely was thinking that could have been nice. Max was even complaining, you know, when it's 30 degrees on the main floor where the birds are hanging out at 2 in the morning, you know it's a warm night. Not to say anything about the upstairs. So definitely a warm night. Max, are you enjoying your eggy? What do you say about eggies, huh? See, I think we're going to settle on Saturday mornings being the default day for our live stream, if that works for everybody. You know, if we get lots of views, we will keep doing more of these things. Yeah, Max. What's up? What's up? Okay, Max, do you want to try the rest of your cone? Take that part of the cone? Yeah, take that part of the cone. All right, now that part still has some egg in it that I was able to rescue and push down. So somebody asking what state? We are in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So, not that far away. Greenbird says, same here, tropical nights. And I see Cheryl's going to be back in a couple of minutes. Twyla, Max will probably do a little bit more talking once he is full. Got some games out to play and some entertainment on the porch. I brought out some cardboard because he's definitely been getting into that this week. Well, hello, Mr. Bean. Glad to hear that he is responding to Max. Max certainly gets excited when he sees other cockatoos as well. I have to say his absolute favorite has got to be cue. He understands cues different from all of the other cockatoos out there, and he definitely gets excited. Twyla, no, Max does not have a TikTok. I have some concerns about security and privacy on that platform. I mean, there's always security and privacy issues with any platform, but TikTok, I've got a few additional ones, and sort of watching as that one plays out. But we are on YouTube, InstaFlock, Twitter, and Facebeak. And quite honestly, that's a lot to keep up with. Oh yeah, and we also are on Rumble. So if you do hop onto Rumble and you see us in a Rumble battle, make sure you vote for us. Welcome back, Cheryl. Hello, Imhotep. CB asks, hi, why eggs? Eggs are a really, really tasty treat. The flock absolutely loves them. They are well cooked. Usually what I do with them is I just microwave them. 30 to 40 seconds in a microwave safe container. Absolutely no salt added. Sometimes I'll add some dried pepper flakes or some vegetables. Those are always a hit. I tend to serve them in a ice cream cone. As you can see, that one's made a little bit of a mess with it, but it's fun to forage. Max was not really in the mood to wait for his ice cream cone this morning. Max, notice you're having a bad feather day right here? Yeah, your horns are showing. So can you do a bit of talking for me? No, we're not going to climb onto my lap because it makes it really difficult to get the video when you're sitting on my lap. I'm right here. Okay. How about a scritchy? Yeah, we could do a scritchy. Yeah, that's a good scritchy. Ooh. So Max wants his close up today, apparently. Here. There you go. Yeah, both Tico and Max are middle of a molt right now. Hinting bud? Yeah. Scritch there for a minute, then we're going to work our way back up to your head, where all those new feathers are coming in. Lots of new pin feathers coming in. Lots of feathers being dropped. It's the way of being a bird, isn't it, buddy? Yeah. Oh, there we go. It's a new one. And if you can see, I'll see if I can focus on my hand. That's a new feather shaft that I just helped Max remove. The feathers come in very similar to the aglets that you have on your shoelaces, which are those hard little plastic bits at the end of your shoelace. And that's how they come in. So they tend to be kind of pokey, and I don't know if you can see that. I'll see if I can focus in. Max is saying, leave me alone. I'm getting my hand, not the new feather. There's one right there. You can. Oh. Hey, Max. For somebody who's being social, you don't want to show your underfluffies. Yeah, you can sort of see how it's right there in a little bit of a shaft, and that is what I am preening off right there. And I don't want to just pull it off. What I do is I just pinch it with my thumbnail a little bit, and I just sort of shave it and break it off, so it just turns to a little bit of dust. And then I just drop that, and Max is quite happy. One less itchy on his head. Yeah, there's another pinny right there. I try to go after the ends of the pins first, because the ends are more likely to be ready to go. If you pinch a pin feather that is not ready to go, it still has a nerve in it, and Max will let you know. He's usually a little touchy about his head. When I rescued him when he was 10 years old, he's now 26. I think he'd had a few bad experiences with the top of his head. And of course, he can't reach the pennies on top of his own head. So I'm doing my absolute best here to help him out. And sometimes he says, "Hey, Mom, don't touch my head. That's mine." Yeah, there's another one right there. You can see it's sort of the end and it's a little bit tapered. So I try to go after the ends of them first just to make sure that they are ready to go. And then I just sort of work my way up the shaft a little bit. Yeah, Max is giving me the beak. Be careful. Those are kind of touchy. But it feels so much better when they're done, doesn't it? Yeah, you really like having your pennies de-sheathed. I think Lori's watching. She made a comment. That means Gonzo's watching. Oh boy. Yeah. Was that exciting? That was a motorcycle. Yeah. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I've got lots of comments here that I've missed, so I'm going to try and catch up on these. Max is busy talking. He sees some people walking past, and they're always excited to see him too. Yeah! Yeah! So Twyla says she follows InstaFlock as well. Thanks for following. GH on Rumble, Max the Moluccan. Always Max the Moluccan. Another good one to follow there is Einstein, the talking Texas parrot. Greenbird says Scritchies after Beakfist. Oh, absolutely. Heavenly. It doesn't get much better than that, does it, Max? Does it, Max? GH says, my Goffin has been screeching if I touch him different areas. I think he's molting. I love printing them, but they seem to be sensitive. Oh, absolutely. New pennies are sensitive. When new feathers come in, they've got both a blood supply and a fresh nerve in them. And if you go after them too early, the bird is going to say, please don't touch. That is kind of sensitive. So, I mean, he's a bit of an itchy mess. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Yeah, Max, we're going to pay attention. There'll be no pooping in my shoe today. Happened last live stream. Talking to a neighbor who was looking at one of the units here for sale, and they were asking a bit about noise. And, well, of course, that was a huge question I had when I moved in here with Max, and I was not paying enough attention to him, so he decided to poop on my leg and on my shoe. He did a wonderful job according to him. I was not quite as impressed. Oops, I'm sorry, hen. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at all those new feathers. Yeah. Oh, I bet you that feels good. Yeah. Cheryl says Vancouver's a bit cooler finally, so she might take Bob out on the patio if he wants to go into his carrier. And that's always a really good point. One thing I like to point out when I'm out on the patio is you will notice that Max is wearing a harness. You can see the back of the harness here. You can see the leash over here and the front. Oh, he's saying, scratch me, don't touch my harness, Mom. The front is right down here, and it's a full body harness. It's a motorcycle. Yeah, so that means that he is securely attached to me if something scares him, such as a loud motorcycle going by or a sparrow buzzing him, or, you know, there's lots of things that can easily scare a bird. And even if they usually don't fly, even if they're really non-flighted, they can fly amazingly well. First birds that I had were a pair of lovebirds, and we kept them clipped because at the time in the early 90s, I mean, that's what you did. You got a bird, you kept the wings clipped. And let me tell you, when something scared them, those two clipped lovebirds who did not have any experience flying had no problem whatsoever zooming right through the apartment, ending up on top of the kitchen cabinets, right where I couldn't reach them. I mean, they just had amazing powers of flight. But I remember that anytime I think about, well, you know, maybe this once I'll take a bird out. it's really not worth it. I'm not good at climbing trees. I'm not good at climbing houses. And, it would be heartbreaking if I lost the bird, but it would also be really, really tough on the bird. They don't know how to survive out here. I hear so many stories of lost parrots. I see them all the time, found, lost and found birds here, even in Calgary. It's because somebody's gotten out of a door or somebody was taken outside, didn't have proper restraint on, and something happened. And quite honestly, these things happen. You know, um, we're always careful. Oh, I'm sure you can keep an eye on your bird, but what happens the day that you stub your toe? Certainly, it wasn't planned. You were not intending to do so. You're carrying the bird. You stub your toe. You trip. All of a sudden, the bird is scared, launches up, starts flapping the wings. The universe moves, and the bird suddenly finds himself not knowing what is going on. So it is just a huge, huge important thing to always wear a harness, a leash, or come out in a carrier. It's the options that I offer my flock when they want to come outside. Yeah, Max. Yeah. Um, Kevin asks, when is Max's hatch day? Kevin, I'm not entirely sure. Usually I celebrate it sometime in August. So we have incremented his age a couple of weeks ago to 26. And it's really just about picking a day. So, he's not too concerned about it. We don't make a big fuss about it. But, I think everybody really likes to know how old the birds are, and it's just about keeping track. Yeah, there's another lovely, lovely pin feather, and see if I can focus on that one for a minute. Yeah. And lovely, lovely shaft. Isn't that right, Max? Yeah, Twyla, if you want to see Max's story, there's a video on YouTube that talks about his rescue, talks about the experiences when I first met Max. I'll give you a tip. He was the Amityville horror with wings. He was biting, he was screaming. He didn't set out to be a bad bird. He just, you know, life happened, and I think that happens to all of us. And he did not know how to react. He'd gotten mad at the world, and he just needed somebody to set down some rules, somebody to be consistent, somebody to be there for him, somebody to hang out with him while he preens and give us treats. And so I've had him now for 16 years, and he is doing really, really well. But his full story is on YouTube. It is a bit of a sad story, but I think it's a story worth telling. It's not unique to Max. There are a lot of birds with similar stories. The person who buys them has the best of intentions. Nobody sets out to abuse a beautiful parrot like Max. It's just, life happens and circumstances change, and the next thing you know, all of a sudden things are not working out quite as well. 10 years later, Max was living in a basement and he was really unhappy with his life. So, I honestly think that his original owners had the best of intentions. And it was just action followed by a reaction, followed by a reaction. They didn't quite know what they were getting into. And next thing you know, he's living in the basement, cannot be handled. He's biting, he's attacking, he's screaming. And they just don't know what to do with him. And that's the story of so many good birds out there. And they can be rehabilitated. Max is a great example of that. I'm not a professional rehabilitator, and at the time I did not have the help of a behavioralist. I was just consistent. I had Tico at the time, and I had a lesser sulfur crested called Fina. She unfortunately passed a few years ago, quite a few years ago now. But it was really about being there, being consistent, and trying to address what the parrot needed. They need you to be there. They need attention. And yeah, sometimes life happens. You've had a long day at work. You got stuck going out after work. You get home, it's 11 o'clock at night. Bird is awake. Bird is kind of grumpy. You don't have time to handle him. But you know what? life happens, and that shouldn't happen all the time. But when it does happen, a well-adjusted bird can handle it. You know, they know how to play by themselves. And you just make sure you give them some quality time when you get home. Spend 5 minutes talking to them, not combing your hair and talking into the room, but actually... Was that a raven? That was a raven! But actually talking to them and just giving them that one-on-one attention, they will thrive. I mean, it's about quality attention. Same with kids. You know, you don't just plunk them in front of TV and ignore them and hope for the best. Yeah, sometimes you do, but, you know, you spend some quality time with them as well. Well, that raven was pretty exciting, Max. Yeah. Greenbird, I'm sure there will be pooping, but hopefully not on me this time. Where do you think you're going, buddy? Yeah? Well, if you gotta go poop, I'm gonna move that. Hey, Max, go poop. Gotta go poop? You can go poop right there, you know? Especially now that I've sort of pulled in your harness, you're not gonna poop on it directly. No, you're gonna help me pull it in too, huh? Oh, Max. Okay. A little bit more of a scritchy. So, hi, Dory. Yes, Cheryl, absolutely, especially if the wind catches them. And we were talking about how easy something bad can happen and the importance of leashing on that. CB, every bird can be loud, and Max certainly can be very, very loud too. Hey, Max, while I'm talking on the live stream, how about we try a new game? Now, if you were watching this week on the socials, this has not gone onto YouTube yet, but we had some games with cardboard. Max, do you want some cardboard? Yeah. I'll hold it a bit for him until he gets the hint that he's got to hold it himself. Actually, he does have me very well trained. There you go, bud. You're going to make a big mess for me, aren't you? Here. There you go. Yep, now you got it. Now you're on your own. You can hold it by yourself, bud. Oh, Jory, that's kind of cool. Other Max has a bird day today. Other Max is a lot younger than you, isn't he, buddy? You're 26. Yeah. CB apparently had a bad experience, lost their parrot after 8 hours and crossing 2 freeways and attacked by a blue jay in a creek. They got him back and they now rescue birds. Well, that's a wonderful story, but I'm sure that must have been heartbreaking for both you and the bird. The bird would not have known what was going on, and every time he flapped his wings, the universe moved, and scary things were happening all around. Max gets scared enough sometimes when we start walking near open spaces. You'll see sometimes we have video where we're walking by the dry pond or the edge of the city. We're right on the other side of that video. There are buildings, the complex here. We're right at the edge of the city. But being right at the edge of the city, it's really, really easy to stay close to the buildings while having the open spaces. But Max gets nervous if we start walking too far into the open spaces. He just does not know what's going on with them. So right now, he is holding this himself. I'll just zoom out for a minute. Yeah, you can see he's made a bit of a mess. This patio was clean when we started. And he's very carefully peeling the cardboard. That's part of the game, chewing it, peeling it, and turning it into a piece of artwork. He's got it nibbled down, so he's got a good grip on it with his foot. And he's just going to hold it himself and entertain himself for a little while. Dory will be posting this one later, so if you missed the Eggy Cone, you can actually watch it again later to catch up on anything you've missed. You know, it's always fun watching him eat. The cone was not such a great hit today. He was in a little bit too much of a hurry. Must have been hungry, but, hey, buddy. Yeah. Thanks, Lee. Lee says Max is looking good. Cheryl has had Bob for 9 years, and he's about 13. Yeah, it's just amazing how long-lived some of these birds really are. And the important thing is when you adopt one, you know you are getting into it for life. It is a lifelong commitment. It's not just it's not something you just do on a whim. Moluccans can live 80 years, sometimes 100 years. African Greys, 60 years. Timney African Greys, generally you hear 40 to 50 years. But my friend Lori, who has Gonzo the Great, if you're not following him on InstaFlock, go do so. Message me if you need help finding him. He is a 60, that's right, 60-year-old Timney, who apparently did not get the memo that 40 to 50 was supposed to be his lifespan. He's an old man, he has arthritis, but he really is living his best life. So, I mean, these birds can be very, very long-lived. Sure, when you say the lifespan can be 80 to 100 years, there's no guarantees Max will live that long. I mean, a lot depends on diet, keeping him healthy, environment, not having anything bad happening in the environment, the bird's health as well. I mean, humans, there's no guarantee how long we're going to live either. Although we probably hope that we're going to make it into our 80s, but there are a lot that do not. So, it's really about stop and think and live for the day, live for the time. But certainly, if you get a bird, remember that bird is adopting you for life. Hi, Angels. Angel says, hey, Maximum. I'm a newish subscriber, and I love the channel. Well, thank you, Angels. I'm a huge bird fan and used to keep cockatiels, but sadly not possible work-wise for me. I love cockatoos. Angels, did you know that cockatiels have been found to be part of the same family as the cockatoo? They're just a very small cousin. Yeah, it's so great to have so many people chatting in the comments today. Yeah, it is fun to watch him going after his cardboard. He certainly loves it, and yeah, he is making a nice big mess for me, but that's part of having birds too. You're going to have a mess, you're going to have to clean up. Not a big deal. It's kind of what you sign up for. Max is quite familiar with Garbage Monster regularly stealing his nest out of his cage. Now that is really good coffee, Max. Oh, thank you, Greenbird and Twyla. Twyla says Max is so cute. And Greenbird loves your crest, Max. Yeah, I know. Right now it's down because you are super, super busy just paying attention to that cardboard. Yeah, definitely fun to chew on that cardboard, isn't it, buddy? Yo, that was a bee. That was fun. Max gave the bee a dirty look, but kept going on the cardboard. Yeah, we might see if we can get a balk out of him a little bit later. Right now, he's so into that piece of cardboard, I don't think he would pay any attention if I asked him. But we'll make sure that we do that before we sign off on today's live stream. Yes, Greenbird, that's right. It is birdie art. And today's birdie art features the cone from his eggs and a whole bunch of chewed up and stripped cardboard. It really is fascinating. Just if you watch, and I'll see if I can get a bit of a zoom in here without getting too much shadow. The sun's a little bit odd here, but that's okay. But if you can see, he's using his tongue there as almost where I would use a finger, and he's just getting right in there. Oh, I gotta get a good chomp there, but he's getting right in there and peeling the cardboard and really, really enjoying himself. It certainly is a fun way to get at some of that cardboard, isn't it, Max? Here, I'll zoom out a little bit. Maybe I can get a better shot. Here. Yeah, I know it is kind of white when you're trying to focus on a white bird and there's a lot of light, it can sometimes be a little bit challenging. Yeah, it's making some really nice crunchy sounds, and as I zoom in here, you can really see that tongue working. Now, the funny thing is if Max is inside of his cage and I put in cardboard, he'll ignore the cardboard. He only wants to chew on newsprint. But outside of the cage, cardboard is definitely fair game. What do you think, Max? Is that a good piece of cardboard? Yeah, it sure is. Hey, Rhonda, glad that you were able to join us. I know this week I actually gave a little bit of advance notice of the live stream. I think we're going to try to do them Saturday mornings on a regular cadence, sort of around this time. So if you are around, we'd definitely love to have you join us, and I'll be posting it up on his regular social channels. I figured out how to schedule the live streams as well so that you can get a countdown and see when we are planning to go live. Now, of course, when you are dealing with a flock, sometimes the flock have different ideas. But we'll try and stick to, if we say that we're going to be live, we'll try to be live within a minute or two of that time. Who knows, we might even pop on a few minutes early. What do you think, Max? Is that good? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that definitely is so nice and crunchy. And it is a lot of fun. I mean, this is just foraging fun. This piece of cardboard is one of the best toys ever. Now, Max does not get cardboard every day. He, I pulled up a box from the basement, chopped it up, and he's getting, here's a chunk today, here's a chunk tomorrow until he finishes the box, and I leave it for a little bit. So the toy is always new and exciting, and he's always excited to see his boxes come up. And quite honestly, it's a great way to do some of the recycling. Oh dear, yeah, some of it's blowing away a little bit. We've got a little bit of wind here, so I'll be chasing some of the cardboard around the neighborhood, I think. But that's okay, Max. You go ahead and you shred it like a big bird. Yes, and definitely affordable toys. One question that I've gotten from a lot of people, they're wondering about where they can buy good, sturdy bird toys that don't get destroyed. And I always think to myself that, that person is really, really missing out on the whole idea, because the idea behind a bird toy is, the fun of it is to destroy. It is to have a chunk of that toy, to destroy it, to chomp on it, and to really, get in there and have some fun. Max has decided to drop that for a minute and do a little bit of preening. Would you like your toy back, bud? Oh boy. Oh, Are we done? You can see he did this piece of cardboard was whole when we started, and he really loves shaving it right down and pulling off the edge. That's fun. Right now we're going to do a little bit of preening. Yeah, because absolutely we've got uh, we've got lots of things to do, and a bird's attention span is short. He'll go back to the cardboard in a few minutes, I'm sure. But right now it's just about playing with it and having some fun. Gonzo the Great says that, just messaged me, said that he's watching us with the rest of his flock and his pet humans, but is having a problem making some comments. But I'm going to just do a shout out here. Max, do you want to say hello to your friend Lori and Gonzo? Yeah. She says you did a great job with the cardboard. All right. Oh, time for more cardboard? Okay, you take that. Yeah, and Max definitely has learned how to hold on to his own cardboard. You know, it's now a much more manageable size. Oh, we dropped it. Oh, we're preening. Now, one other thing I'll sometimes do with cardboard, and I'm just trying to do this one-handed here, is change the form factor. Here I've just rolled it up, and Max is grabbing it. He's saying, hey, what's going on here? This is a different shape than I had a minute ago. And it really does crack and roll so easily, so it makes a great toy. Now, one thing I do avoid, you know how boxes are sometimes glued together and they've got that really hard glue strip? I will avoid the glue strips that hold the box together, and I will remove tape, and I will also remove any staples, because you don't know what kind of metal they are, and that metal is definitely not going to be good for the bird. But yeah. There you go, Max. With tug of war time? Yeah, that's fun. Whee! Okay, I'm going to toss it back onto your chair. All right. Well, so far we've had snacks, we've had toys. Oh, we want some more scritches. I see. Yeah, it's definitely molting time around here. You know, Max, I bet all of your friends online would love to give you scritchies too. Yeah. Yeah, Lori, a whole bunch of people are saying hello to Gonzo. This is fun in the comments. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I can hear some people screaming, and Max is getting a little upset at them. Almost sounds like people are having a fight, but I can't see them. And Max is definitely reacting. It's okay, buddy. It's okay, buddy. You hang out in the sun and you supervise, okay? Okay. Yeah. There you go. Max, I think you're in focus again. Yeah, you can hear the wind waving the tree against the house, can't you? You didn't approve of the wind. And of course, the fun thing here with the wind is picking up a little bit. So I'm going to be picking up cardboard from all over the neighborhood. That's okay. That's part and parcel of having a bird, isn't it, Max? Hey, Max, can you buck? You gonna step up? Now, for some reason, Max is more willing to buck when we're standing. Hey, Max, can you buck, buck, buck? Yeah, can we get another good buck, 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 buck? That was a rah, rah, rah. How about a buck, buck, buck? You know, your friend Joy would love a buck, buck, buck. You buck for Joy? Hey. Hey, Max. What's going on? Oh. Yeah, Max, you don't have to balk all the time, but I appreciate the fact you balked for me. You want to sit down with me? Ho ho. Oh, you're going to sit on my lap, which is going to make it really difficult to get you on video. Hey, 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 hey. What are you doing? Oh. Did I get your leash caught? I'm sorry. Max's leash got caught and he was busy nuzzling into me trying to explain to me that there was a problem. Yeah. I had that happen actually this week. I went over to the mailbox and I was busy talking to one of the neighbors who's out. We're keeping a really social distance, and for some reason they were curious about Max. Yes, I know. You know, you take a bird for a walk, of course you're going to have curious neighbors. And we were busy chatting, and I was chatting to this young gal who's a friend of my neighbor's daughter. And we were talking about Max a little bit, and she was quite curious. And Max was good. Max balked for her and everything. And then I turned around and I tried to go for a walk, and we managed to cheer up. I caught. What do you think, Max? There's people. Yeah. And they didn't even look at you. I know. But I was walking along, and we've got railings all over the complex as well. And I managed to catch Max's leash on a railing and knocked him right off my arm. He was a little bit upset about it, a little bit excited. And, you know, he was not too happy about what had just happened. Ended up on the ground, and we were near some stairs, so he ran up to the top of the stairs because he thought that was going to be a safe place to get onto my arm. And then he just wanted to cuddle. But the way that the harness is constructed, the ones that we wear are, why am I trying to call it Avian Adventure? That's not right. Aviator, thank you. It's Aviator. And it goes around his body, front and back, goes underneath his wings. So it holds him as the body. It's not just one part of his body that gets tugged on. And then you've got the leash here. And the leash, I'll see if I can sort of illustrate, but it is stretchy. Yeah, that probably didn't work too well. Hey, Max, you helping? Let's toss it down there. It is stretchy, so instead of it being an absolute hard stop, it's a little bit of a stretchy stop, which helps the bird from getting hurt as well. You know, it pulls the bird, sort of doesn't just hit the wall, but sort of hits a bit of a elastic wall. Yeah. Oh yeah, we definitely had a couple of really good close-ups there. Max right now is having a bit of fun. He is, standing on the chair all by himself. You can definitely see how big he is, and he is big for a Moluccan. Hanging out, having a bit of a chat, enjoying himself. Yeah. So... But yeah, he's close enough that no harm's going to come to him. I'm within reach. He's one chair over. If I needed to grab him, I'm, one lunge away, and he can get right back to me if he wants to. He's feeling pretty secure. He's feeling pretty brave right now. But he knows he can wander around the chair and sit on the chair where he wants to. I think he might like a shower right now, but with the amount of cardboard that he just tore up, that would just make such a mess. So I'm not going to do that until after I've cleaned the patio. Yeah, Max. Yeah, Max does prefer human furniture. He really likes sitting on chairs, especially the arms of chairs. He knows he's not allowed on the back of the chair. If I'm on the chair, then he can sit on the arm. But on the outdoor chairs, he'll climb onto the back when I'm sitting on the next chair over, just to bring himself up a little closer to my eye level and to keep a better eye on everything that's going on. What do you think, Max? Those are some classic fluff and chops right there. Yeah. Yeah, those are fluff and chops. Worth mentioning. Yeah, Max has always been really, really good at the fluff and chops. He's relaxed, he's happy. He just wants to fluff right up. Could use a bath right now, but that'll happen later, won't it, Max? Yeah. Yeah, Dory, those chops are quite something. And sort of look how sweet I am. I'm gonna hide all of the sharp black pointy bits. Yeah, Max, you might get a pedicure later on today too. Yeah, we do. I do all of his own pedicures here. Usually sit down with a nail file, go after it for a little bit. I just have to find a new nail file because he helped me with the last one. And, you know, for a week or so, sort of go after nails and just pull them down a little bit. They are getting a couple of them are getting a little bit long. But I mean, you know, it's not really a big deal. We do it fairly casually. Sometimes his beak overgrows a little bit, and he does know Dr. Dremel at the vet. I think a lot of parrots do tend to make that acquaintance, but he's been pretty good lately about chewing on some wood and keeping that the beak tooth on the one side that likes to grow down. Last time I told him, well, you know, even with COVID, we are going to have to make an appointment. We are going to have to go to get that ground down. He immediately ran into his cage, chewed hard on a perch, and said, see, we don't have to go. I took care of it myself. He can be a bit of a goose that way, but he knows what he likes, and he did not want to go see his vet. So he took care of it himself, which is okay. Yeah. Good dental care, good beak care is important, isn't it, Max? Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna hang out here for a little bit longer. It's nice out. It's not super hot, which is kind of nice. There's a little bit of shade being cast by some of the trees here. Yeah, Cheryl. Actually, Max is super good about his toes. Even when they get long, can I just come up close here? Nope. No, we're gonna come up close for a scritchy, I see. I'll see if I can get a toe in there. But even when they get long, he leaves them nicely rounded. They're a lot sharper if I trim them. Tico, on the other hand, is the one who will sharpen his claws so that they are pointy needle claws and they can easily draw blood, you know, and scratch. He's, you know, I don't know what it is about African Greys, but they seem to like the needle claws. Cheryl, sounds like Bob's gonna get a pedicure pretty quick too. And I mean, it's not traumatic for the birds if you make a game out of it. It's something where you just grab a toe, you do one toe, maybe two toes at a time. You know, I've got some dog nail clippers that I use for the birds, yeah, you know, but it works well. And all I do is I nibble the nail. Instead of taking a good sized chunk of the nail, I put my finger against the clipper, I insert the nail in so that there's just, you know, maybe a millimeter in and it just tips it. And then I just crunch it down, and my finger's right there to keep the nail from going further in. One time I had a bird try and help me by shoving the nail all the way in, and he got a little bit of a ring on his a lot further up the toe than I wanted, but I almost snipped it where I didn't want to. So now I just keep my finger on the end of the toe, and I just clip right against my finger, and it just means that I get a tiny nibble. And yeah, you know, I'll take a couple of nibbles of the nail today and a couple nibbles tomorrow instead of taking a bunch at once. This means if the quick is long, it will get a chance to retract, and I'm at lower risk of injuring the bird or clipping into the quick, which can be very unpleasant for them. And you know, I just do one nail, maybe 2 nails, whatever the bird is in the mood for. I mean, it's, you know, it doesn't matter to me if we do all 8 nails at once, or if I do 1 nail today and 1 nail tomorrow. You know, I just leave the clipper sitting at the chair, and it just becomes part of play. You know, when the bird's relaxed and not too worried about stuff, I just go after 1 nail, and if I'm not too worried about it, Max does not get too worried about it. Yeah, Greenbird says they do it the same way. You know, it's definitely just make it low key, because if you get stressed out over something, the bird's going to get stressed out over something. A couple of years ago, Max had his first tornado warning, and I mean it. You know, I glanced outside. It was pitch black and sort of had a tinge of green, and my phone had gone off with a tornado alert. Proximity alert, and I'm going, Houston, we have got a problem. We are definitely going down into what we've got for a basement. And I was a little bit stressed out. Got Tico into his carrier pretty quickly, and I went to grab Max, and Max picked up on the fact that I was feeling a little bit panicked and I was in a hurry, and he decided his cage was the safest place for him. You know, he did not know what was going on, but my phone kept screaming, and I looked pretty stressed out, and he was saying, I'm really not sure about this. I ended up almost crawling into his cage myself, peeled off his toenails from the cage door. I was actually kind of glad I didn't get bit, but he would have been well within his rights to chomp me for that one. You know, it was against his will, and I just grabbed him and I just hauled him downstairs, and I had the wherewithal to you know, grab a leash, hold the birds downstairs, and I was just, you know, it's like, what do you do in a tornado warning? We don't get, you know, I don't get these at my house. What's going on? And I mean, you could hear the rain pounding, you could hear the wind howling, you could hear it. My basement's got a garage on one side of it. Yeah, I was just behind the drywall. I cleared out a cabinet that I had in there that could fit Tico on one side, removed shelves so that Max and myself could fit in the other side if it came to that. And Max was really unhappy about it. No chewing on the chair, bud. Next time I had a tornado warning, I was a little bit freaked out, but I just said to Max, you know what, we're just going to play downstairs for a little while. And managed to keep him from picking up the fact that I was concerned. Yeah, I think he picked it up a bit, but because I was being matter of fact, hey buddy, you want to get into your leash? Carried his leash downstairs. He went to sit with me. I just popped it over his head, so I had him restrained. Yeah, and he was less of a bother that time because he was not picking up on the panic. So certainly if you're worried about something like clipping nails, the bird's going to pick up on that, and he's going to say, if you're worried, I'm worried. There's probably a good reason for that. So definitely, you know, you're going to get a lot more cooperation if the bird knows that you're okay with it, you're not worried about it, and that it's, you know, it's just something matter of fact happening. Isn't that right, buddy? Hey, Max, would you like some more cardboard chews? There you go. Yeah, Max actually does appreciate it when I give him a nice hefty piece of cardboard. I think it's a lot more fun to destroy when you start something large and work it small. Or sometimes you just, if you want small, you can just chew off the small bit yourself and then drop it down and make a bit of a mess. Yeah, thank you, Max. Lovely, lovely mess that you've made for me. Yeah. Well, Max, what do you think? Do you think we've had a long enough live stream today? Yeah. Well, why don't you leave the flock with some important messages? Do you have any advice about snacks? About sunshiny patios? About care and feeding of your pet Uman? Okay, Max. Come on up. Let's see if we can... Yeah, Max is super good about just stepping up when I ask. Hey, Max, can we get one last buck? Oh, how about one last poop? Max, can I get a buck from you? Buck, buck, buck. Thank you, Max. Everybody loves your bucks. Even when you're being silly, I asked for a buck and you initially just gave me one. You knew what I meant. Yeah. Rah, rah, rah. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll do this again next week. Stay tuned. There's going to be Max weekend review video coming up this week. And if I get myself organized, there will be a bit of a scripted video as well. Never sure. What do you guys prefer, the scripted videos or the weekend review videos? You know, let me know about it. Leave me some comments. Tell me what type of content you like to see, and I'll try and get you some more of it. So, yeah. But thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We'll let you guys go. I'm going to go back on your perch, bud. Yeah. And have a wonderful weekend. Stay healthy.